The Balto the Dog Commemorative Monument, which was commissioned and established by Frederick George Richard in Central Park in 1925, allows for an extremely high level of public interaction. This level of public interaction has made it to be not only a signature of Central Park, but of New York City. The nature of how the monument is presented and its size leaves way for exposure not only to public abrasion, but also that from the weather of New York City. It all began in 1925, following an outbreak of diphtheria in Nome, Alaska. The closest place with the antitoxin was Anchorage. A sled dog relay was the only hope to get the antitoxin, given that planes could not fly and there were no trains to Nome. Balto was only 3 years old at the time and was very inexperienced. His musher, Gunnar Kasson, took a chance on the young Siberian husky. A mere 5 days after the outbreak, Balto returned with the antitoxin and in turn stole the hearts of many. His statue was commissioned in the same year, just months after his accomplishment. Since then, Balto has held his perch on top of his rock in Central Park. This statue has become a popular spot for tourists and locals alike in the city. This is a life-size statue of the dog, which sits atop a large rock that is relatively easy to climb. He stands poised, facing forward with his tongue out and eyes ahead. On the metal slab that he stands on is engraved his name, Balto. Just under the rock is a plaque that gives a brief history and commemoration of Balto's life and the sled dog team as a whole. The plaque, along with the statue itself, have clearly been exposed to the public and weather for almost 100 years. They both show rubbing away from their natural coloration, which is a dull bronze color, and have started to show a more golden brown color. This discoloration is especially clear on Balto's back and tail, where people sit and lean to take pictures. Balto acts as a meeting place for where importance for both age and historic value meet. Balto represents a very important sled dog from 1925 that deserved to be commemorated, so its historical value is very present. The historical value is further enforced by the plaque, which gives a detailed description of why we should remember Balto. Age value, on the other hand, is shown by the changing colors on the metal casting. This is physical proof of all the love that he has accepted over the years. Similar to the William Tecumseh Sherman statue in the southeast corner of Central Park, if Balto were to be recast to appear new, people would likely not be happy. In this sense, he's valued for his historical presence in Central Park. Ann Peterson, in her piece about public interaction with monuments, discusses how the surrounding environment can change the meaning of a monument. Although she focuses on monuments in Amsterdam, her ideas can be applied to our monuments as well. In Balto's statue's case, the monument has gone from being completely commemorative to being half commemorative and half a symbolic landmark. For example, a lot of people, myself included, have childhood memories associated with Balto's story. I literally just thought Balto was a statue that went along with the movie. I didn't even know that he had been a real figure in history. This is just one example of how a real commemorative monument changes meaning based on how the public grows to interact with it. The fact that Balto is mounted up high also contributes to his significance. Even with people climbing up and taking photographs with him, he stays visible to the public passing by. He's pretty much never totally obscured from view. The raised rock on either side of the sidewalk that crosses in front of Balto creates a whole area of southeast Central Park dedicated to the statue. Also, the fact that he is elevated gives him a more distinguished overtone. This commemorative monument has become a landmark of New York City and Central Park. The Balto statue has brought joy to many faces over nearly the past century and will continue to do so for years to come.